Let's check out some factoring challenge problems. Okay, so these guys are going to be a little bit more difficult. We're going to dive right in. Here are the first couple we're going to do. We'll do a total of 5. No common factor, 3 terms, no coefficient in the front. Okay, it's 1. So we're going to dive right in. X to the 4th, x to the 4th. Split it evenly. Multiply to 144. Add to 25. Minus and minus are my signs. Multiply to a positive, add to a negative. So I could list out all my possibilities, or if it comes to you, go ahead and write it in. Came to me. If ever this power is greater than 1, always try to factor again, especially if it's even. So I have an even power here. I'm going to split this up. So this is going to be x squared and x squared. 2 terms, so it's difference of squares, a plus and a minus, a 3 and a 3 over here. Difference of squares, x squared, a plus and a minus, 4 and a 4. Okay, whenever I have an x squared, always try to factor again if you can. But in order to factor with 2 terms, it has to be the difference of squares. Well, there's a minus, that's a plus, so it's done. That's a minus, but that's not a square. This is a plus, so it's done. This is the only one that can be factored again. So this one here is x plus 2 and x minus 2. And all of these have to be rewritten. That is the factored form. Moving on to the next one. So the next one, you look for something common to factor out. So when I find something common, I pull it out, x to the 4th. Oh look, here it is. It's the same exact thing, but I did want to factor this out first. So that's going to be x to the 4th. Split this up. X squared, a plus and a minus. Square root of 16 is 4 and 4. X squared. This is not a difference of squares, it's a sum, cannot factor it. X plus 2, x minus 2. More. So here's number 3. Then I look at number 3. Can you see number 4 over there? Yeah, we got the whole thing in. Okay, 1, 2, 3 terms, nothing common. So I'm going to set up my parentheses, x squared. I'm going to multiply to get a negative number, so I have a plus and a minus. Already I know this one can't be factored again, so whatever that factor is, it's done. This one I might be able to. Multiply to get 100, subtract, and get 21. Well, those numbers are 25 and 4, because that multiplies to 100, subtracts to 21. Minus goes with the bigger number. Here's my 25. Here's my 4. This guy cannot be factored again. He can. X squared plus 4. And that one is x plus 5 and x minus 5. Number 3. Always look for something common first. And it looks like I can pull out a 3. And x is 4, 3, 2. I can pull out 2 of them. And yes, the y also. Pull out a 3. This is just the x squared minus 5. One of the x's, the y comes out, bring down a minus. If I divide out 3, that's 66, and all of that comes out. Always try to factor again, especially if you have an x squared. It's a trinomial, so I set up my 2 sets of parentheses, x in the beginning of each, multiply to a negative, 66. So multiply to 66, subtract and get 5, so that's 11 times 6. It's a negative 5, negative with the larger number. 6, 3x squared, y. That's that guy. One more. So this guy right here, we're going to look for something common. Numbers. 4. Already I can stop. X's. X, X, no X. So stop. No B. And of course there's no Y, so forget it. There's nothing common. 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. 4 terms grouping. Group your first 2. Look for something common there. X squared. So then I'm going to have 4. Came out. b squared minus y squared. Group these two. I have to do plus and negative. As soon as I do that, I know that negative is coming right back out. Look for a common number, 25. Variables, none. Take out the negative and 25, 4b squared. Take out a negative and the 25, y squared. So now I'm going to finish my grouping. These guys are the same, so I write that guy once, 4b squared minus y squared, and this comes together for my other factor. Okay. As soon as I have squareds, I am going to try to factor again, and I have two terms. The only thing I could do is difference of squares, and these are all perfect squares, so I can do it. This guy, split him evenly, 2b, plus and minus, y. This guy, x, split evenly, square root of that, and plus and minus. And those are some challenging factor problems for you.